with me Madam Aditi Mishra, the Principal of Delhi Public School, Gurgaon. Thank you so much, Madam, for your time.
Thank you. Nice to be here with you.
Wonderful. I want to start by knowing your first reaction to the lockdown announcement that was made a couple of weeks back.
So I think I anticipated the lockdown before it was actually announced.
Yeah.
We were working that week, the week of the 16th of March. I remember the dates very vividly because it just came to my mind that there might be a lockdown because that's the safest thing to do.
Yeah.
And I remember calling the heads of department and telling them that if this happens, what are we going to do about academics?
Yeah.
Because you know how teachers are very hyper about how the syllabus will move forward and what will happen to the curriculum. Yeah. And I also anticipated that it might be long drawn out. It may not end on the 31st of March as was initially thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
So immediately on the first 2 days, without panicking, we just got into the mode of understanding how technology can be used in the best possible way so that teachers can be comfortable using it, and the children should also have access to it. So the first 2 days, I think 16 and 17, they were completely immersed, and from about 7:38 in the morning till about 4 in the evening, all of us were trying it out from different rooms, trying to add each other to see how the voice quality is, how are we looking, whether you're audible or not, is there too much of a cacophony, how do you mute everybody's mic. So it took a little bit of practice because we are all used to the human way of teaching. Teacher comes to class, smiles, chats, a little bit of jokes happening, and then you get down to the class. But here it had to be different, because of the nature of the way technology was going to be used. So I don't remember feeling any panic. I just remember feeling that we have to do something, and we should do something different, and we have to do it really fast.
Absolutely.
So there was no room for worry or fright.
Yeah. In fact, as you're saying, there has been such little time for anyone to prepare for this. And this is so unprecedented, on the entire teaching mechanism moving to, let's say, a different source. How effective has this been? I mean, all the hard work that you've done in all these days, how effective has online teaching been until now?
Well, from the kind of reports I'm getting from the children and from the parents, it seems to be working. Because, children enjoy a routine. They may think that it's bothering them or it's boring, but I think in the heart of hearts, they enjoy being part of a curriculum, a schedule, doing something with focus. So I have yet to hear anything negative about the classes, whether they are online classes or they're online assignments. It seems to be going very well. Of course, there are those people who there are some people in the world whom you cannot please. So they exist in all parts of the world, and I have some in part of my life also. So it's nice to have people who complain and force us to rethink and do something even better. So we are constantly, each time we think of something new, I always think from the other side that how can it be perceived? Can it create problems for parents in some other ways? Is it something which is going to damage the child in some way? Will they get too hooked to technology? It has to be a very, very fine balance, and we have to be very thoughtful about how much of what we will use when.
That's a very interesting point you're making, because all these years, the parents collectively and teachers have tried to keep children off screens, and for all the reasons, and now and of course also because how it's going to affect the eyes, etc. And now we are bringing children back to screens, and now not only are screens the source of entertainment but also education.
So we were also very conscious that we are using screen for about 3 to 4 hours only for senior classes. That's classes 9, 10, 11 and 12.
Okay, very nice.
For the junior classes, we have very consciously kept only podcasts or very short videos to explain certain concepts, followed by assignments which the parents can either print out or the children can see. The parents can read it out to them, and they can do it in any notebook. So for the child from the age of, I would say, age 5 or 6 to the age of 12, 13, the amount of time in front of the screen would not be more than an hour a day.
Very nice. Very nice.
For academics.
Yeah. In fact, ma'am, a question has been in my mind for a while that you know, when a child goes to school to study, no matter whatever, not only economic background, whatever family dynamic they are coming from, all that is put
Yeah.
aside because you are in one space, you are in a set territorial
Yes.
space. And
Yes.
as much as we try, you know, and as much as we try to impart the same kind of knowledge and education during this time, family dynamics are different. You know, you cannot have
Of
equal
course.
enabling environments. So are you hearing any stories from not only children but parents about how they are receiving knowledge right now?
There are a lot of children now in the past 10 years or so who are first generation learners. But what surprises us most about these children is that they are so self-driven. They do not need a parent to chase them or get after them. It is our children from the more privileged homes who need to be reminded that they have to study. It's a very interesting thing that those who don't have it do not take it for granted. And therefore, there's a greater respect. So when the lockdown was about to happen, I called all these children to school. And for the younger children, we called all the parents. It was not a surprise for me. I was aware that they all have phones. I was surprised that they all had smartphones. So we downloaded Zoom for all of them. We downloaded whatever platform we were going to use for the junior classes, so that even a child who's living in a very, very basic house, maybe in a juggi or in a basti, is able to access the material which is being sent. So
And
it has actually blown to smithereens, this whole thing about, you know, economic backgrounds determining how well you do or how you accept education. In fact, at a pinch, since I enter about 12 to 13 classes every morning, while the classes are on, I enter for about 4 or 5 minutes. I give a little pep talk to the children and I walk out. I have, it has saddened me that the children are very subdued. They have realized that instead of a 6-hour day, now this is a 3.5 or 4-hour day that we are getting.
yeah,
And let's make the most of it. So the value of what they have learned
yeah,
has come as a very, it's a very terrible reminder that, you know, let's be grateful for this, what is happening. So it saddens me that, you know, at one level, all the mischief that they were up to, all the fun that they would have, there's no fun sitting at home in your bedroom and listening to the teacher. It's no fun at all.
absolutely. Also, you know, this also makes me think about what's the role of parents right now in ensuring that, of course, you know, where, as you mentioned, kids are, it's so good that a lot of kids are self-driven, but uh, do you see a greater role of parents ensuring that they create that environment where kids can study for 3-4 hours?
Yes, you know, because what is happening is in a lot of homes, there is only one device, one laptop or one computer or one desktop. So we wrote to the parents at the start. I apologized in the beginning that this would take away some of your work time. So parents have been so supportive, and I really must give a loud shout out to them, because they ensure that that time when the classes are going on, they don't use the desktop. So they do their work maybe on their smartphone, or they may be having an iPad, so that the child can get the most of these 3 hours. And then while the child gets onto the, you know, the worksheet or the assignment or the question answers in the notebook, then they go back to their work. So we were conscious that we have homes which may have only one device or maybe two devices, and it is possible that both the parents are working from home and there are two children. So there are 4 people, you know, trying to get hold of these 2 devices. But thanks to smartphones, the parents switched to the smartphone. This is what was told to me later on, and the children could carry on with their classes. So there's always a way. If you want to look for a way, you will find a way. But yes, your other question, that how are parents getting involved? There has always been a partnership between the school and the home, always. So if the school repeats what the home is teaching, whether it's punctuality or discipline or honesty, it's the child who is the beneficiary. The moment there's a disconnect between what the home is teaching and the school is teaching, the only person who's confused is a child. Now that partnership has come more to the forefront.
That is so good,
because now the parents could be sitting over there and watching the teacher, and each parent, I must share this with you, that each parent is writing not just that the classes are going on and the children are gainfully employed, but they're noticing what pains the teachers have taken. They recognize that the teacher may not be so techno savvy, but she has taken extra pains to learn how to make a video, to learn how to share a smart board, to learn how to write on the board while the children are watching. So it's very heartening for the teacher to know that the parents are recognizing her effort.
I think if
So,
nothing
like
else,
I wrote to them once.
yeah.
Sorry, I just wrote in. I think I wrote it on Facebook that I anticipate that the future PTMs, which will be face to face, will be very much kinder spaces.
Yeah,
Both will understand each other.
Absolutely. In fact, that's what I was saying. That if nothing else, I think this pandemic is bringing in a lot more empathy, because
Definitely.
only because we're all in this together in equal
Absolutely.
capacities. I think we are just becoming a lot more empathetic, and you can clearly see that.
I can see that.
Wonderful. Ma'am, the other, March and April are quite busy months for educational institutions. There are A, assessments, and then B, new sessions starting, and all of that has come to a pause right now. So, how are you handling assessments? What's going to happen with assessments right now?
So we finished the last year's assessments, and the children were all promoted before
Okay.
the lockdown happened.
Okay.
We do it between the 10th and the 15th of March, and then we give a little break, and then the new session starts by the last week of March. So that thankfully that problem didn't come up. For the new session, we have a lot of new children coming in.
Yeah.
And the teacher ensures that they feel comfortable in a certain way. When they enter a class, they are introduced in a different way.
Yeah.
They are made to feel welcome.
Yeah.
They are allotted a friend in the class. Now, doing that online is quite an issue.
Yeah.
Because you really don't know the child.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, like I said, necessity is the mother of invention. So we found a way out of that also. So we've made phone calls to the new parents a week before they were joining, to understand what kind of a child they have. Is he fond of reading? Or is she fond of sports? Or are they into music and dance? And then the children that we had with us already, and we knew that they would probably click together, we put them together, and we've ensured that this new child is made to feel welcome by another child of the class who's been with us for many years. So those human touches have remained. But of course, it's not the nicest way to start a session, where you don't meet the children, you don't see them, you don't have those assemblies, welcome assemblies, you don't have the music and dance happening. But I'm sure this too shall pass, and children will find a way to find creativity in whatever they are doing. A lot of Times of India has started an online writing contest. Scholastic has done it as well. So I think this is also creativity. It need not always be in the form of music and dance. It can be art, it can be writing. So as long as children are gainfully engaged in doing something which is beyond academics, I think that is something which we look forward to. And I've always felt academics will take care of itself.
And with adults, everybody is kind of reading all the time. They know what's happening, or even if we're kind of digesting the uncertainty in a certain way. With all this stress and anxiety coming through the uncertainty, how are children taking this? How are they managing any sort of unsaid stress or anxiety that's coming with just the uncertainty of this?
So all the teachers who are teaching these classes have been told that the first 3-4 minutes you don't just start and say, okay, today we're going to do magnetism. You talk to them first. For the first 3-4 minutes, you talk. So their biggest question is, ma'am, when will this end? And the answer is the universal, we don't know. And whenever I go into a class, I always tell them that, look at this. This is the cloud with the most beautiful silver lining. For everything that you ever said that you don't have time for, now you have time. Whether it's yoga, learning music, learning to dance, learning a new language, learning to cook,
absolutely,
clean the house.
Absolutely.
So all these children, especially class 9 onwards, in whose classes I'm entering, and disturbing the class a little bit, I think, because I just go off on a tangent. I always tell them that another 3-4 years you're going to be in university. It could be in India, it could be overseas, and you will have to take care of yourself. These are life skills which you need not learn at the nth hour. Learn them in a more measured way. Learn to cook, learn to clean, learn to wash your clothes. What should be washed with what? How should it be folded away? All these are things which you must learn. So they all gape at me. They gaped at me in the first 2 days, and they realized that it's right. It's the correct thing, because they will have to do this. The way the world is going,
Mm.
I mean, all of us are also pretty pampered. We had help coming for everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we are managing everything on our own now. There is no help at all.
Absolutely.
But so don't just manage it, enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
So do
Absolutely.
everything for which you did not have time, because there is no, when you are in a situation like this, you cannot change it.
Absolutely.
It's not in your control. What you can change is how you're going to respond to it.
Yeah.
And that's my only message, that I have decided I'm going to be happy. I choose to be happy. I can be miserable otherwise.
Mm.
So that message I want to reach out to the parents of the school, to the children of the school, to the teachers of the school. And I send these messages out every week, actually, to just remind them that good times don't last, neither do bad. So just keep waiting. I don't know when it will end, but it will end.
Yeah.
With 3 weeks have gone past now, we didn't. I mean, now when you think about it, no big deal. It's happened.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
just to be positive, that reminder.
Mm.
Young people need reminders.
Yes.
They may get stressed. Class 12 passing out is especially stressed. They have still some exams left.
Yeah.
Their board exam is not over.
Mm.
So neither can they enjoy,
Mm.
nor are they able to be worried about their exam, because we don't know what's going to happen, when will it happen. So just to keep them, their spirits up. Okay, keep studying. Just study for 1 hour every day. Don't be surprised if suddenly the exam date is announced. It may happen at some point of time. So I think basically that's the message which everybody who is in any position to communicate this should be, to stay positive and not let it get you down, because mental health often gets neglected at such times.
Absolutely. Yes.
So should
In
not
fact,
happen.
it's so good that to remind children that you are not alone in this and you'll be taken care of. And as you mentioned about
Not at all. Yeah.
now about class 12 students, and it's such a great worry that admissions were around the corner and which are going to
Yes.
eventually be pushed now, and we really don't know what's going to happen about the
We don't know.
university admission.
Basically, the indecision. I always tell the children that never be scared of a board exam or any exam, because you're prepared, right? It's a preparation which makes you feel strong. I don't know what to prepare them for. For which time? For July or August or September or
Right.
December? I don't know. No one knows. So, and this has also taught you a lot about the connectedness. How well connected we are. I mean, not in the nicest way now, of course.
Of course,
Everybody
but
associates connectedness with the coronavirus.
yeah,
But the fact is that the entire globe is in it together.
yeah,
So how are we going to fight it? In India, we're fighting it in the most sensible way, by just staying indoors.
yeah,
Just stay indoors. We are bound to flatten the curve.
absolutely.
So we just need everyone to think positive and stay home, and within the home find creative ways to spend time.
Yeah.
And not waste this time. That's all.
Absolutely. Such a nice thing you've said. And I want to, wrap this up, ma'am, by asking you. There has been massive learning for everyone, and this is ongoing. With whatever the pandemic has brought in. How do you see life after the coronavirus ends? For the education system, for children, for teachers, how are we going to look at life after this?
Okay, the first thing, I think, when this coronavirus lockdown happened, in the first 2-3 days, I didn't have a schedule. I used to, I sleep late, and therefore I love to sleep till late. So I was quite enjoying that. And then I said, this can't be. I'm not going to live like this, like a slob, waking up at 9 o'clock every day. So I made myself a schedule. And when I was making that schedule, I reminded myself, and I remind everybody, to be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for a home.
Yeah.
There are people who are homeless, who don't know where to go. Be thankful for a school which is providing you with education. Be thankful for the parents who are toiling, working from home just for you. Be grateful for the food that you are getting. Despite the lockdown, markets are still open. So if you start making a list, you'll run short of paper for what all you have to be grateful for.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about that, it had helped us remove a lot of cobwebs. First thing, we used to treat the mobile phone as a public enemy number one. And now we are using it to beam classes into the homes. So that, I think, learning has been for both the learner and the teacher.
Yes.
That is not a bad thing. It's how you use it. If you use it for the wrong things, it becomes bad. Same thing used productively, constructively, is your biggest tool in the way of education.
There's going to be a collective understanding.
Absolutely. And it's coming to them. And it's coming to them without me saying it is coming to them. It's not an I told you so. It's a very gradual, almost like an epiphany which is happening, that they understand that yes, this can happen too. The other way which I'm very excited about is that supposing there's a teacher who can genuinely not come to school for some reason, why can't she take a Zoom class?
Yeah.
I need not mark her absent. She's physically not here, but she's able to take her 4 classes a day. Likewise, a child who could be preparing for the entrance exams and who may want some days off to study, why can't I record the lessons and give it to him? So if
Yeah.
technology can be used in a crisis, why not use this technology when there's no crisis and children just need to use it for education?
Absolutely. It just adds a lot more productivity also, And
Absolutely. A lot of people are talking about homeschooling.
yeah.
But this is not technically homeschooling. Homeschooling is when you get no support from outside and the parents are doing the teaching.
Yeah.
This is technically a very beautiful combination of the two people who care the most about the child, the teacher and the parent, coming together and imparting whatever they know, their experiences, their knowledge to that one child that they seem to have put all their hopes on.
And adapting very well to the situation.
Beautifully. I have no complaints. And in fact, the teachers have risen beyond my expectation, way beyond.
That is so good.
And I've told them that if you're browsing the net and if you see something for class 8 while you're teaching class 4, send it to the teacher of class 8. Let them also share. So there's a beautiful sharing happening. And the so-called commercial establishments which used to charge something for online content, it is so heartening. Everything is free now. Scholastic has made their books free. Audible books have come free. There's a very beautiful organization called Mentor. They run a magazine called Mentor. They do a children's film festival. They made all their film festival movies free for the children to watch. I mean, nobody's thinking about money. Money is not important. We have it. We're not able to spend it. So
everybody's just
together,
rising up to the occasion. Everybody's really beautifully.
The absolute humanity of humans is being tested today, and I think we're all coming out with flying colors.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it needed us a pandemic to see the brighter side.
Very sad. Yes, that you suddenly see blue skies. I haven't seen a blue sky in 20 years, and now I see a blue sky because we're in lockdown. And you see so many more birds, and you get pictures of people being able to see the Himalayas from Jalandhar.
Yes.
So I think it's a very rude awakening, but I think maybe even if we now learn from it, and correct our ways, I think all is not lost.
Absolutely. I just hear so much positivity from you, madam, from the get-go. I think you just embrace the situation head on, and I clearly see that there's students their lives are not the education is not at risk, nothing is at stake, everything's going well.
We are in it together. We'll come out of it.
This is lovely. I love your attitude, ma'am, and no wonder we need important people need to be positive. And as you said earlier in our discussion that I did get slightly worried, but that my worry is not to be shown to others, because that's not what they need right now. I love what you said, in our earlier discussion. That's wonderful.
If I have so many children, parents, and teachers looking at me, I have to give them hope, and I will give them hope because I am a hopeful person. I'd never give up. I don't want to. I don't think people in any position where they have people looking up to them can afford this luxury of feeling sad or depressed or I've lost hopeless. It now. You can't. Yeah. There is no such word. Should not be there.
Great, ma'am. I just hope this passes soon, and we all get back to. I think if nothing else, I think the thing that children are missing and everybody's missing most is the social bonding. I think the physical social bonding absolutely. That is there. I think we hope to get back to that as well. Yeah.
And I think they're planning so many things when the school reopens. I don't know. I hope we are able to help them achieve all their dreams as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Wonderful, ma'am. It was absolute pleasure to speak to you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Shreya. It was lovely speaking to you too. Thank you.